And now I would like to welcome on stage Mr. Alec Peterson, the Vice President of AWS Resilience Amazon Web Services from the US, who will deliver a keynote speech on the criticality of cybersecurity and defense. Please, Mr. Peterson.
Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here with you all at the Bucharest Cybersecurity Conference. My name is Alec Peterson, and I'm the Vice President of Resilience at Amazon Web Services. In my role, I'm responsible for ensuring that AWS services are designed and operated to be highly secure and resilient, and that the workloads built on AWS meet customer expectations. My teams own critical functions like incident response, operational readiness, and AWS-wide availability improvement programs. Before joining AWS, I spent most of my professional life building resilient infrastructure and services. This includes one of the first commercializations of Anycast IP routing, which is a building block for the resilience of key internet infrastructure, such as the domain name system. It's this background and passion for resilience that drew me to AWS over 8 years ago. As the world's leading cloud provider, we have a profound responsibility to build services and infrastructure that are able to recover from impairments induced by load, attacks, or component failure. It's a responsibility that AWS, my team, and I take very seriously. As you'll see later, simply by migrating to the cloud, entities can enhance their resilience. I'll share insights into how we've approached this challenge at AWS, from the ground-up architectural designs that enable strict infrastructure isolation and separation to the innovative hardware-based security of our Nitro system that permeates everything we do. Over the past few decades, digital technologies have brought tremendous benefits to our societies, governments, businesses, and everyday lives of the general public. Businesses have innovated at a breathtaking pace. Governments have become more responsive to citizen needs, and individuals have stayed connected like never before. Cloud computing is a key piece of this accelerated digital transformation as it unlocks ambitions and economic value. For many of our customers, the imperative to use the cloud is already here due to its cost, flexibility, scalability, and innovation benefits, as well as its security and operational resilience advantages. When we add the potential applications of generative AI made possible by cloud computing, there is so much potential for further value to be delivered. However, this reliance on digital systems for our most critical applications has brought a profound responsibility to ensure the security and resilience of these systems. At AWS, we recognize this challenge and take it seriously. In fact, one of our core leadership principles is success and scale bring broad responsibility. So, how do we approach this challenge? As with anything, it must start with the foundation. Since its inception, we have embraced strict infrastructure isolation and separation for the entire AWS cloud. Unlike traditional on-premises environments, each AWS region consists of infrastructure in an isolated, independent geographic area designed to provide a high level of stability and fault tolerance. AWS invented the concept of availability zones, which are collections of one or more data centers. Each availability zone has independent and redundant power, network, and cooling infrastructure. A single data center is only ever part of a single availability zone. Each AWS region consists of multiple availability zones. The AWS region and availability zone model has been recognized by Gartner as the recommended approach for running enterprise applications that require high availability. This layered approach to isolation is crucial for limiting the impact if something were to go wrong. But it's not just the data center infrastructure. We have also completely reimagined compute virtualization with the AWS Nitro system, a custom-built hypervisor and hardware platform that powers our EC2 cloud compute service. Traditional hypervisors use the same hardware that processes customer code and data to protect hardware and BIOS and implement virtualized networking and file system functionality. With the Nitro system, we were able to move this functionality to dedicated hardware with no customer code or data. At the heart of this separation is the AWS custom-designed Nitro hardware card. These are dedicated hardware components with powerful 64-bit processing capabilities and specialized application-specific integrated circuits, or ASICs. The AWS Nitro system operates independently from the host resources, such as CPU and memory, that run all customer compute workloads, including the code and data processing operations. Importantly, this means our own AWS operators have zero ability to access customer data or bypass the security controls we have in place by design. Security and resilience involve anticipating and responding to failures. That's why we've built the AWS cloud with the assumption that disruptions are inevitable. By engineering our own services to be both fault-tolerant and quickly recoverable, we empower our customers to maintain business continuity and deliver reliable experiences even in the face of adverse events. We recognize that cloud resilience also plays a critical role in an organization's broader business resilience strategy, including the ability to meet digital sovereignty requirements. Sovereignty has been a priority for AWS since the very beginning, when we were the only major cloud provider to allow you to control the location and movement of your data. Our approach to digital sovereignty is to continue to make the AWS cloud sovereign by design through the control over the location of data, verifiable control over data access, and the ability to encrypt everything, everywhere. We have had deep engagements with European regulators, national cybersecurity authorities, and customers to understand how the sovereignty needs of customers can vary based on multiple factors like location, sensitivity of workloads, and industry. In October of last year, we announced our plans to launch the AWS European Sovereign Cloud, a new independent cloud for Europe designed to help public sector organizations and customers in highly regulated industries to meet their evolving sovereignty needs. To deliver enhanced operational resilience within the EU, only EU residents who are located within the EU will have control over the operations and support of the AWS European Sovereign Cloud. As with all other AWS regions, customers using the AWS European Sovereign Cloud will benefit from the full power of AWS with the same familiar architecture, expansive service portfolio, and APIs that millions of customers use today. A significant part of the agenda for the next few days is focused on policies and regulations. To address the evolving threats and a desire to make Europe safer and more resilient, the EU has enacted a series of regulations that touch upon security, resilience, and the responsible use of new technologies, like the Digital Online Resilience Act, DORA, and the NIS2 directive. As a company that operates globally, our core infrastructure is designed to meet the most stringent security and resilience requirements in the world. It satisfies the requirements for financial, health, military, government, and other highly sensitive organizations. We have developed compliance mechanisms to support 143 security certifications, attestations, and frameworks worldwide, and we will continue to do so, addressing new compliance requirements that we have in front of us. At the same time, we would like to invite regulators and policymakers present here today to engage in conversations about the international harmonization of technology standards, certifications, and regulations as a way to ensure that European organizations reap not only the fruit of increased security and resilience, but also become more competitive globally. Delivering harmonization between jurisdictions and industries and regulations will be crucial to ensure that the goals of policymakers and the industry can be met while customers continue to benefit consistently from the advantages of services on a cross-border basis. Ultimately, what it comes down to is this. At AWS, we know security and resilience are not optional. They're imperative. Since we launched AWS, these have always been our top two priorities. By building a cloud that is secure and resilient by design and providing powerful security automation capabilities, we empower our customers to move faster, innovate with confidence, and better serve their own stakeholders. So as you think about an organization's digital resilience, I encourage you to look at AWS as a trusted partner. Together, we can help navigate the evolving threat landscape, meet the applicable requirements of regulations like NIS2 and DORA in territories where we operate, and build the kind of digital security and resilience that will position you for long-term success. In closing, the events we've seen unfold, particularly the Russian invasion of Ukraine, have only underscored the urgency of this challenge. The worrying impact of cyber attacks waged alongside physical warfare has targeted critical infrastructure, financial systems, and communications networks. This stark reality has reinforced that digital security and resilience are not nice-to-have capabilities, but an absolute necessity for organizations of all sizes and sectors. The conflict has proven the role that technology can play in securing a country's resilience through widespread utilization of services such as internet access via satellite or cloud, providing continuity and security of essential services, digital services in various scenarios of disruption. AWS has been honored to be working alongside the Ukrainian government and other private and public organizations to support the people of Ukraine so that, in spite of all the physical destruction, the government and private sector companies were able to continue to serve Ukrainian citizens. In the early days of the war, AWS migrated over 10 petabytes, or 10 million gigabytes, of essential data from 42 Ukrainian government authorities, 24 Ukrainian universities, the largest remote learning K-12 school serving hundreds of thousands of displaced children, one of the largest Ukrainian banks, and dozens of other private sector or companies. In the past, after wars or natural disasters, people and governments have been forced to rebuild almost from scratch. However, in the modern war, data has become a tempting target and vitally important to protect. All these data have been moved to the cloud describe the lives and the nation Ukrainians hope to reclaim and rebuild when the war is over. It is a strong testament of how cloud technology can increase the resilience of our society. Thank you all for being here today, and I look forward to our discussions.